It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show. Hey.
The great danger that, I don't know if you suffer from this, but I have this horrible habit. Mm-hmm. Like if I begin anything, like I start writing a book. Like it was a sunny day and, the flowers were just opening. And by the time I get to the end of the sentence, I'm thanking everyone for the award I'm winning for the book that I haven't written yet. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I'd like to thank you for all being here today. And this book has been a struggle. And
you're welcome.
And then you have to go back to the beginning and write the book again.
I do have this thing where I became conscious of it a long time ago, like really early. The same thing that as I'll be writing a joke or writing something longer, whatever, and I start thinking about, I've got to send this to somebody immediately.
Yeah.
Someone's got to.
Well, now, a lot of young artists now, they do that, that they will include their fans or admirers or audience in the process of doing whatever they're making.
Yeah.
And there's I remember, Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
So I was talking to Kevin. He was doing some like pretty serious drama for Amazon.
Uh-huh.
And it was that I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Kevin does some real he's a proper actor.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it, and he said they want me to tweet out about it while I'm doing it. He said it's really frustrating because my whole job is to try and convince you I'm not fucking Kevin Bacon.
Right.
And then you have to go, it was really sunny the day this happened, and I was so hungry when I was pretending to be a killer, and it's like,
it's weird. I do really admire people who don't do it, who don't participate in it. It really, you can still create that allure of...
It's the aspirational position of today's society is to not be connected to social media.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, if I have a goal in show business now, is to get that shit out of my fucking life. I think that social media, and I want to be very specific about social media. I'm not talking about phones. Not talking about the wonders of the new technology. It's amazing. That shit's incredible.
Insane.
I love it.
Yeah.
But social media, unrestricted digital bathroom walls for everyone to write on, that has taken over, and now all media is social media.
Yeah.
It is possibly the worst thing that's happened to human society in years.
Yeah.
And like maybe since, I don't know, cholera. It's awful.
What is the worst part of it?
I think it is the what it does. I can only speak for what it does to me. Is it makes me feel paranoid and afraid. And I'm not quite sure why, but it engenders in me a kind of, and I think it does it to other. I mean, I have children, and I'm, my older son is very connected to the digital world. He's an animator. Yeah. He has to be.
Oh, well.
And my younger son has very restricted access to it, which he's actually very comfortable with.
How old?
He's 13. And I think that. He fights about it a little bit, but not really. I mean, I think it's a relief.
Yeah.
Because I think, that feeling when people say, I'm going to detox from social media?
Yeah.
If you're detoxing for something, that means it's tox.
Yeah.
If it's fucking toxic, then it's toxic.
Yeah.
And it is a struggle. I'm not going to deny it.
I know.
When I found that magnifying glass thing on Instagram, I was like, I lost 2 days of my life. Until I went, whoa! And I had to get rid of it because I was like, airplane landing. Oh, cat doing something cute. Oh, horrible murder. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Pandora's box, man.
It really is.
I don't think that the human brain is equipped to take in that much. It's too much.
It's way too much.
And I don't know. Maybe other more qualified people can do it, but I can't.
Yeah.
And I do believe that the aspirational position is in show business now is not to win an Oscar, but is to not have a fucking social media presence at all and still make a living.
I know. My pal Matt Damon does not do it. And
I'm not familiar with that gentleman. He's an actor.
I love, yeah. If he was a social media, I could direct you to his
you
account.
can show me. Is he on Instagram? Because if he's not, I don't. No.
But it's so cool. It really is so much. It's so much better.
Yeah.
When do we get to see Matt? When he's in a movie.
When he's in a movie.
When
he decides he wants to show you him.
Yeah, if he wants to come on a late night show or something like that. But it's
Right.
not going to be every day, and this is my wife and my kids and my breakfast and all the rest of it.
And see, I've got a social media presence in the sense that, hey, everyone, I'm going to be at the Irvine Improv. Right. Well, I do that, and then I give it to someone, and they put it on the account.
Yes, I know. That is a big relief.
It's also expensive, but it's kind of worth it, I think.
It is worth it. That's the thing as a working comic. It's like, you want people to know and see where you're coming.
You need people to know where you're going, and if that's how people get to know, that's how they get to know. And so, on one hand, it's very convenient, but to consume social media,
that's the thing. If you're putting it out, that's one thing. But if to all of a sudden, and it really it's as strong and intelligent as I think I am at times walking through my bathroom, it's stronger than I am.
Oh yeah.
It's
now used as a source for so-called legitimate media, of which there is none.
I know.
So they'll say people are really angry about five people on Reddit or that's not a fucking poll.
I saw as part of a news, like a real newscast, and they said Bob on X said this. I'm like, who's Bob?
Right.
It was just a random tweet.
You just take it out of your computer and throw that piece of shit at the toilet wall and keep going.
Yeah. Does it create workplace envy or any of that stuff, or is it more just the onslaught of? Yeah,
I think what you mean, like if you see other people doing well.
Yeah, like we just had the festival, so I had to post a lot for the Netflix is a Joke festival.
Right,
you're posting, and this is fun, and we're all doing this stuff. But then at a certain point, it starts to tip over, and it's like, well, that guy's selling out an arena, and this guy's doing that, and all of a sudden. These thoughts I don't care, I don't have.
I think
all
that
of a sudden
it can do that, but then you have to get the scale. And I think that social media doesn't give you scale, but I think the thought process, if you think about things for a little minute, it does give you a sense of scale. So, for example, if a comedian you feel envious about is selling out an arena or a stadium, and then you think, well, what other comedians have sold out stadiums? There's a few of them. And then you go, do you want that? No, I don't want that. And it's getting stuff in perspective. I think to be fed your perspective is to rob you of your own perspective. Mm-hmm. And I know that people think that they can handle social media, and maybe they can. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that look, a lot of people can handle alcohol and be fine with it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I agree. There's certain people that stir shit up on social media, and they love the vitriol and and they really do seem to enjoy it.
They get into it. Yeah.
I have no thanks. No, thank you.
No, it's like that. This made everyone mad. I'm like, why did you do it?
I know, right?
you make everyone mad. But I don't know. I grew up at the school that I went to, and the way that I moved around when I was a kid. You made someone mad. Violence was at the end of that.
Right.
So it became. You don't want to make people mad,
right? You get punched in the face,
right? So I feel like I've held on to that a little bit. Like, don't make anyone mad. You get hurt.
It is a wonder, though. Like, if you do go to the little magnifying glass and you put in some decent things you want to see, and it starts feeding you for the day, you'll just start noticing very positive, cute little things.
Okay,
and you seem like, oh, this is lovely. Social media is a delight.
Yeah.
And then
a little bit. Yeah. There's like
a little poison.
I know we've been watching cat videos for an hour, but here's a little murder just in case. You like this murder? It's like, all right. And then you go, and like I notice now what the tabloid. Remember, there used to be supermarket tabloids, and now they're being legitimized because they call them like websites and stuff. But it's still the same thing. And what they will do now, I think this is fascinating. They put up headlines that you can't understand. So it goes, man in shop invents wheel that suddenly hits him and he falls over. and people are laughing, Palestine. And you go, what the fuck? And you click on it. Engagement, they got you.
Amazing.
And it's not like you have to read it. You don't have to read it. They've got what they want. They got the click. That's it. That's all.
Right.
It's fine. Move on.
Right.
So you don't, it's not even, or maybe they suffer from what I suffered from today, which is spell check, which is,
Oh, yeah.
somebody texted me and said, what time are you getting to Tom's podcast? And I wrote, as I was driving, and I shouldn't have done it, it was a light. I went, I'll be there approximately 11:45. And then I looked back at it as coming in, and it said, I'll be there, aromatherapy, 11:45. I was like, oh, so I clicked on it, and then they got me.
I have the thing on Apple, it's putting an underline under correctly spelled words.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like,
Why?
why are you doubting
Just to fuck with you? Yeah. Listen, I believe it.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
But I think there's a whole lie about tech as well that, like the tech community and, in Northern California and all that. They're just 19th century industrialists. It's the same fucking impulse.
Absolutely.
It's not, they're no better than any of the other fucking empire builders of the
they're
Victorian
barons,
era.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they don't fucking like, they're, they care about, they don't give a shit about any more than Andrew Carnegie cared about libraries until he saw the Grim Reaper coming to him and he's like, you know what? Maybe we should have some libraries for everybody.
Right, God?
Well, I didn't do the libraries. You did. That's true. Yeah.